Okay, we are live now.
Hello.
Yeah, good evening,
Yes.
everybody. Oh, Hwachongians. So
大家好，
today,
大家好。
大家好. So today we have Sean Wong with us, and we are running this series of alumni interviews. The previous interview we had Eugene Xia, and today we have Sean Wong. So it's a lead up to our main event, annual 47th annual college day virtual celebrations. The original date is on the 21st of August, but because NDP has postponed to the 21st of August, so now we will push back our annual college day celebration to the 4th of September. Yeah, 4th of September. So 注意一下 just change your date, and the sign up page is below. Hwachong Alumni JC, hwachongjcalumni.org.sg/47. So 47, 47岁了, Hwachong 47岁了.
That's right. So
Okay.
all of you must go on the Facebook page and then join us.
Yeah, just like drop a
special
like
occasion. Yeah, but please don't go on the wrong date because we have changed the date. So
it's all online.
Let's all
Online
enjoy our
on
time
the
together.
4th of September, online event, as most things are nowadays.
That's
7:30 to 7:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. evening time. Okay, so Sean, maybe you share with us. You maybe introduce yourself. What do you do? And we will take it from there. Sean, 介绍一下哪一届的？
介绍一下。Okay, I was an alumni from 92. I feel so old when I mention 92.
92年了，还年轻啊
！92年呢，可以这么老了吗？我是92年的哈，我是从 Humanities Program 的 92 A15. Yeah, so 我们的观众是 Chinese 还是 English 的
？Mix 啦
，mix 啊
，English Chinese 都可以，中英都可以的，
中英都可以哈。OK，
我中文是中英都 OK 的。
Okay, maybe I introduce myself in English lah. Okay, so ever since I graduated, I went to start my own retail business. I used to have 5 shops, and at the time, I became a singer-songwriter under Rock Records. So 滚石唱片。
Wei Ming says hello.
Hey, hello, Wei Ming.
Thanks, Wei Ming.
Good to see you. Yeah. So at the time when I started as a singer-songwriter, I was traveling around, and actually life was great. Traveling around doing what I love. Yeah, but unfortunately, SARS came. I was hit very badly, and I lost everything. Yeah, really everything. And I had to give up my dreams, and I had to fight back to become a businessman in another field. Right? I decided to go into the beauty line, and I did quite well in the beauty line. And eventually, I turned around, and my life was going through a lot of different crises. So I had to go up and down, had a roller coaster journey throughout this whole past 10 years. And eventually, I landed into entertainment. So that was what I started with, and eventually I still ended up as an entertainer. But I have been doing many things behind the scenes. So I'm also the agent of Senator Manny Pacquiao, so the boxing world champion. So I'm actually a sports agent for the Chinese market. And I also run a few businesses in the entertainment line, in the entertainment industry. So I run a lot of charities now. I'm actually also running a charity called the Musical Theatre Limited, which is an arts charity, also related to entertainment. Yeah. So in a nutshell, I do any kind of disruptive business. I actually venture into quite many. So, but being disruptive, a lot of things don't go very well smoothly. So I had a lot of challenges as I was building my businesses. But everything is good now. So that's about what I do. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Thanks for giving us a quick overview. Let's just say hello. Okay, if you're just tuning in to join us tonight, feel free to type inside the comment box.
Oh, somebody gave me a smooch. That's my wife.
老婆。
还好是老婆。
Mrs. 不然你就 trouble 了。Susan, yes, we are bilingual.
Yes, 没问题。双语都可以。只是有时候 不知道要回答是英语还是华语了哈。
英语还是华语都可以啦。
今天 casual 了哈。OK， 来。
对，今天 casual。
我们
OK，so let's take a little
谈一谈吧。
walk down the memory lane 啊，我们走那个从华初时代。What were your memories when you were in Hwachong? What were your best memories?
Actually, I had my best times during that period, because although it's just 2 short years, but I had classmates who were really exciting. We had a lot of fun doing different things together. So I had the privilege also to, at that time, travel to Africa for incentive programs. So we had a lot of exchange with the locals there. And of course, together with my classmates, we spent a lot of time in another part of the world. I think that was a really great memory. And I was very involved in singing at that time. So I was in the choir. I also took part in the talent competition during school days. So I was very active doing many things. So I was also in the badminton team, I think squash team. So very active.
Wow, so many CCA.
You realize that I never
juggle your studies and your
exactly. You realize I never speak much about my studies. So it was a time just to have fun. But of course, we also had our time to learn and to get involved in a lot of the programs. But I would say I enjoyed most of my time, of course, hanging out with my friends during that 2 years.
So who were your favorite teachers or staff? Who do you look up to?
Okay, because we are from the humanities program, so we had a very dedicated team of foreigners who are teaching us. So at the time, we were really just sort of in our own clique, and then every single day will be our own teachers and all. So I don't have much opportunity to mix around with other teachers around the college. But
Valerie gave.
Hi.
Valerie. Hi, Valerie.
Yes. So I would say the best teachers are all from my class. So of course, I've got Mr. White, who's our hot favorite. So a lot of these times that we spent were enjoyable because our teachers were really caring.
So who do you look up to? Is there any one teacher or staff that you particularly had a closer relationship with or inspired you in any way?
Actually, I would say my classmates,
Your classmates? Okay.
A lot of my classmates, they are actually very inspiring. They are very, very smart. They came from very good schools and they were all top scorers. And so every time we had difficulty in our schoolwork, we know who to look for, because there are a few of them who are really that outstanding. So today many of them are also politicians. Some of them do very well in their own industries. So even during school days, we were already looking up to all these classmates of ours. Very brilliant people. And today you can see that they are really striving very well in many different industries. But of course, it is because of the great work of our teachers. We cannot of course discount the value that they added to all of us. But inspirational, of course, teachers are always inspirational. But I would say during our time, our classmates were really, really quite powerful in terms of the way they do things and the maturity that they had. So a lot of the things that I'm doing now got to do with a bit of part of my growing up years during the JC times.
Okay, can you share a bit more? Because I noticed, in case those of you who are not familiar with Sean actually volunteers quite a lot, and a lot of his work in a professional and a non-professional manner has got to do with volunteer. And in fact, Sean has been recognized as a PBM, which is conferred by, I think, the President of Singapore, right?
Yep.
So the title is conferred by, So can you share with us what inspired you to give back to the society in the many, many projects that you have been involved in? But what inspired you?
I think when you go through lots of turmoil in your life, when you go through a lot of challenges and you lose everything and you come back up again, and after that you lose again. So after going through so many times of crisis in my life, I decided to eventually move into another part of my mission is to really go and serve the community. Because during the times when I went down, and when I went down, I really went all the way down. I was living in poverty for many years. I had nothing left. I lost everything. I lost my car. I lost my house. I lost my girlfriend. I lost everything. My family broke up as well. And at the time when you really stripped of everything, you only had to relearn everything. Yeah. So at the time, I told myself that there are also a lot of people like myself, and very difficult to understand what it feels like being poor or being out of solutions unless you have gone through that journey yourself. So I told myself that if ever I can turn around, I would like to serve the community and also to be able to support people with dreams and people who have lost everything, and to be able to guide them to become somebody, right? But that only can happen if I manage to turn around. Yeah, so every day I live with some inspiration. I went to look for people to give me positive vibes and to encourage me to continue moving. And eventually I really turned around. And because once I turned around, I decided to commit my life to serving the community. So in fact, I walked into the CC and asked what I can serve as. So I got very active in terms of volunteer work, and I went into different associations as well. So to learn how youth leadership works, I went into an association called JCI Singapore, and there are a lot of very fantastic youths who have a lot of energy. And we were all young at the time, but I was one of the oldest already. Yeah, so I lost a very important part of my life trying to struggle and to get back on my feet. But they let me learn a lot of things. And I also went into a lot of different charities to support the charitable work. So I went into S3, which is Stroke Support Station, to help the stroke survivors. I also went into Sienche Medical Institution, which is a charity to support the elderly communities in terms of medication. And so I went into these charities with the only intention to help and to learn. Yeah, so over time, I had a lot of passion in charitable works, and I decided to head one of the charities that is also related to what I'm passionate about, which is musical. So I went into Musical Theatre Limited, and I became the chairman. So with all the experience that I had helping the different communities in charitable organizations, I used what I learned to help the charity to be stronger. And it took many years of training, but eventually I fell in love with doing charity, and I continue to do all this, even until now. So, well, I think it is what has not killed me, made me stronger. And today I'm in a better position to be able to help people. So I think that's everything that happens in life that happens for a reason.
Yeah. Susan made one comment: pain makes you stronger and makes you a survivor. Thanks, Susan. Yeah.
So we should go through more pain.
I believe what you have said is very true. What doesn't break you will make you stronger. So let's go back into history, and then can you share with us your first major setback in life? What happened, and then how do you feel when things begin to happen?
Okay. I tell you, it's today I can laugh about it, but at that time, when I crumbled, I was really it felt really bad. Actually, I am a very egoistic person, so I have a very strong ego. Maybe it's because of my bringing up. I did very well during school days, and I just believe in myself so strongly that I know nothing will go wrong, right? So I went to do business, and I believe that whatever I plan, no problem one, just go. And then when I was a singer, and then my passion is in singing, so when I decided to go and sing while I was running my retail shops, I told myself that no problem, can handle one. And then I just go and sing. I travel around every time I'm overseas, but my retail business are all in Singapore. So I just let it to my staff to run. And while I was traveling and enjoying what I do, right, SARS came. And even when SARS came, I told myself, don't worry, no problem at all. And then I lost everything. Yeah, I lost everything so quickly that it hit me very, very badly. Because in retail business, it is a cash flow business. So the moment your
Yep.
stocks cannot sell fast enough, the next month's rent will kill you. And all my shops were located around the Orchard area. So just one shop will have about $15,000 rental. So I had 5 shops.
Roughly which years were there? In the
1990, 2003,
mm,
2003, yeah.
2003. Okay.
Yeah, so at that time I had 5 shops. And you know, I cannot pay the rental. And I went to tell the landlord, don't worry, I can survive one. You just give me another month. So every month I say the same thing, but every month it just accumulates. In the end, I was owing more than $500,000.
Wow.
And it's accumulated debt, right? And you don't
Yep.
see any hope because SARS is going on, you know. And I never knew what this is until, you know, reality strikes. And then you realize that you just have to stop everything else you are doing. And then you don't know what to do with the debts already. So I went around trying to borrow money here and there, but everybody just ran away, right? So everybody was so scared meeting you because they know that things are not doing well.
You need money.
Yeah. So I tell you, within 6 months, I was owing $500,000 and I decided to give up. Yeah. You can see currently the pandemic, a lot of them are facing similar situations.
Yes, yes.
But at the time
Cash
at the time I was so young. I was only close to 30 years old. Yeah, and I don't know what is a crisis, you know. I never experienced it before. So, and then we had a lot of, I had a lot of ego. So I decided not to give up, just keep pushing and pushing and pushing. But the business model couldn't work at that time anymore because it's a crisis, right? So I lost everything. So the banks took away my house, took away my car, and I was sued to bankruptcy. But I was on the brink of bankruptcy. So while I was telling them don't sue me, they could just send me all the letters. Yeah, you cannot imagine. I have 15 legal letters.
Wow, 15.
Yeah, 15.
Wow.
So every time it comes,
At the young age of 30 years old.
Yes. So after a while, you get so used to the letter. You come and say, never mind, another one only. Yeah. So I was very badly hit. So I decided to just call it quits. Then at that time when I was almost going to reach the point of the bankruptcy, so I already received my letter for bankruptcy. I mean, the letter to go to the court, right? And then I decided to see whether I can find a way out, right? So with a lot of courage, I tried to replan my life. And I went ahead to talk to some friends who still had their businesses, and I decided to go in and help them to sell products just to make some money. And then I went to talk to the retail, the shopping mall, the landlords, and I told them to let me be able to pay off part by part, right? So some of them didn't allow. So I told them, if you don't allow, then just go ahead and sue. Right, but those who allow, I said I will start to pay you. So I went to quickly go and produce results in my sales. So basically, it's a beauty business. So I went to sell packages and sell beauty products. Yeah, and I tell you, within maybe 2 over years, I cleared everything. I paid off almost. Right, whatever that I can pay, I paid, and I didn't go to bankruptcy eventually. Yeah, I just worked very,
Was there
very,
any
very hard.
point of time, Sean? Was there any point of time you really felt like giving up, or you just had
Of
this
course.
tenacity to just?
No, I tell you, you will just want to give up every time you talk to the creditor, because the creditor will tell you that you are useless and you are good for nothing. Basically they will tell you everything negative, right? But it takes a lot of courage. But at the same time, I had very good mentor. So every time I was hit very badly, I would just go and speak to a mentor and to ask them whether or not I should do this or do that. So instead of thinking on my own, which at that time I'm really very lost, right? Yeah, I had somebody who is more senior, who is more successful, and he encouraged me to just keep fighting, right? And he told me that just drop your ego, don't bother about what people say, right? Just tell them that you're going to fight back. You're going to work hard. And even if they want to sue you to bankruptcy, don't just give up and just continue doing everything that you're doing that you can do. So even when you're bankrupt and you're owing money, right, there's still a way to eventually pay off. So I did that, and I just refused to listen to the negative views, and I just continue fighting, and it works. So sometimes this positive energy is so important, right? It just needs
absolutely.
Yes, you just need to be encouraged and just continue fighting. And today I learned that. So whatever crisis that I face today, I know that it is there's one formula that which is really, really powerful. Is this this powerful mindset of ours? Just have to keep it very positive. And I reach a point where I can turn negative experiences to positive.
Yeah.
So I tell you,
how do you do that?
Yeah, okay, I tell you, I'll give you an example so that
share your secret.
so that some of us can learn. Okay, so what I did, there was one point where I had no house. I was living in a broken van every single day. I'm just in a van, you know. So when I wake up, I will go to somebody's house to bathe, and then you change back to the same clothes, and then my life goes on as it is, you know. So every time I'm going out to do sales of products, actually I'm wearing the same clothes over and over again, right? Until I can afford to buy, then I started to change, right? So I was living in a van, and at the time when I was receiving all the lawsuits, I just collected all these papers of the lawsuits. Every day I'm just looking at them, and I just keep thinking what I can do with them. And then I gave myself an inspiration. I said, wow, if only I can turn around. If I can turn around, all these legal papers will be my evidence of how I turned around from bankruptcy to become somebody. So every time I will be at that stage, I would be in Borders bookstore. There was a bookstore there. And then I will go there and look at the inspirational books. And I'll flip through some of the books. And I will realize that a lot of them went through bankruptcy and they turned around. Bankruptcy, turn around. Bankruptcy, turn around. Then I gave myself a target, a goal. So I told myself, if I turn around, I will write my book. And in order for this book to be successful, I will need to collect the proof of what I am today, right? So I went to take photo of my van. I take photo of how cham I am. Then every time got a legal letter, I'll take photo, and then I'll keep the papers. And every time I receive this, I will look at it and say, wow, one day this will become my strength. So I did that. Yeah. So I collapsed in 2003 to 2005. It went downhill. I turned around, and in 2009, I published my first book.
Wow, that's in 4 years' time. 4 years' time.
So I published my first book with all these things inside of how I actually turned around. So actually that became my strength. So from a weakness, you just have to rethink how then you can put this negative in the past and put it into as your strength. So I did that, and eventually that becomes a way that I can build my life up again. And when I started to publish that book, a lot of people started to come to me and say, hey, I also went through this same period, but I didn't know how to do it. Can you guide me and teach me? So because of that, I came up with a program called the Life Champion Program. And I came up with it to inspire other people how not to fall into a crisis problem and not to be depressive after you get a crisis, and how to turn around. So today, every time I give a sharing, I'll bring all my legal lawsuits, and I proudly show people, you see, I was sued. Then I show all my StarHub, the termination letters, everything, basically the utilities also cut, right? So at a lot of times, my house was blackout because there's nothing left already before I lost the house. So all this became my strength, and I still have all the old photos where I very cham living in the van. The condition is terrible. So today I became a motivational speaker also because of this. All because of my crisis. So that's
how can you build a resilient mindset like yourself? Do you always started out with this resilient mindset, or was there something or someone that gave you inspiration?
Okay, I would say I had a bit but it's not strong. I was a badminton team player, so I had to train that mindset. So that is also the sportsmanship and then that never say die attitude, right? But that is in sports, right? But when you translate it into real life, sometimes it doesn't really work that smoothly because when pain comes in, when your family is suffering, sometimes you just
correct.
right? I mix around with very, very good people. So I would dare say, because of the people I hang around with, they changed me. If I mix with the wrong, when I mix with the wrong type of people who keep telling me that just close down, you'll never make it back one, why you suffer until like that. If I mix with that group of people like that during that crisis, I will go down also. Yeah, but I was very lucky because at that time I tried to fight back, and I went to meet up with entrepreneurs to ask them to help me, give me inspiration, to let me use their business as a platform to continue to sell things. So I actually went that way, and I met very good mentors. And these mentors tell me, everybody goes through the same thing. Don't worry. So the more they tell me, the more I feel that my situation is normal. And that becomes a fighting chance for me, right? But if everybody keeps telling me, ayo, why you so calm? Why everybody not like that, but you are like that? Now, if I keep hearing that, I would probably just go downhill, right?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, so we have to choose our friends very wisely. So to me, this is mentorship. So every time we face very difficult times, we need to make sure that we are in the right company. And then we make sure that we don't get trapped into a depressive environment. Yeah, because once you get into the depressive state, very few people are trained to help you. So you will keep going downhill, and you want to shut down. Yeah, the whole world is only you. Yeah, that's very dangerous. So I try to prevent myself from reaching that stage. Although I have a very high chance that I will get to that stage one at that time, right? But I try to not to shut myself away from people. I try to meet people who are more successful than me, and then they will encourage me. So I was
there was a recent news article that the suicide rate over the past 12 months or so actually in Singapore actually increased, particularly in two age group. The older age group, I think 50 or 60 years old and above. And then surprisingly, or not surprisingly, the younger age group, I think 15 years old to 30 years old, 35 years old. These two age group are the extreme. They actually have increased suicide rate in Singapore over the past 12 months.
I would say also because I believe in my religion. So for me, I believe that God will be able to help me out of the situation. So because of my strength in that, belief, I didn't want to give up my life. So despite everything going away, so sometimes I think we all need a reason to continue living. We need to find that reason. But if you mix with the wrong people, everybody will tell you it's not worth living. So nowadays I'm very careful when I pick friends, also because I want to make sure that I will continue being in that positive environment. But being said that, when I'm involved in a lot of charities,
your number one fan give you 3
six loves. So during a time where I get involved in a lot of charitable works and the community work, I have to open up myself to meeting people who are in that depressive state. And the way that we can help them is really to put them into an environment where there's a lot of positivity, right? And if we do not do it quick enough, then actually they will keep sliding downwards. It is like that.
Correct.
So while the suicide rate is higher, it's also because of this depressive climate that we are in now. This pandemic has brought unprecedented times. So that's why a lot of people are falling into that depressive state. And with all the restrictions and all, a lot of people cannot find an outlet. Last time, socializing is a norm, and it is something that's encouraged. Today, desocializing is the norm. Right? You should not mix with people, and people start to shut down from the world, and they start to go into their own thinking. And then once they get depressive, they don't know who to talk to anymore. So unfortunately, because of the pandemic, these things are going to be difficult to handle. But if I meet people like this, I will more or less know how to handle, because I went through that stage where I work with a lot of depressive people, and there's a way to do it, right? You need to make sure that they turn positive with a reason to live on. Right? And many of them want
to support them.
Rather than telling them that they are useless and then they have nowhere to go and then nobody is supporting their dreams and all. Once they are in that depressive state already, very difficult. So we need to bring them out. And then mix around with positive people.
Absolutely. And then I really like what you're sharing about choosing our company. Because sometimes we are not intentional and we are not deliberate with the kind of company, the time we spend with the type of company, and what kind of things are they actually saying, because it actually reinforces our internal belief also. So that's actually very important. So let's move on a little bit on your second major crisis in your life. What happened? How do you feel and how do you cope?
Okay, of course, many different crises along the way.
Yeah,
you will see your business going up, down. Your business will suddenly have no sales and all. So that one is everybody will face. But I had gone through one traumatic crisis, which most people don't experience. But it unfortunately happened in our family. In 2015, I lost my second child. And that brought our entire world down. Right, so my wife and I were really shut off from the world. We basically lived in a world of darkness during that times, because the thing happened so fast, and we didn't expect that we will lose our child. And being very young parents, you will never expect that you will lose your child. But that brought trauma into our lives. So that was.
At which age were you then? At which age, can you remember?
My age, is it at that time?
Yeah, at that time when you
maybe
suffered the
41.
41 years old. Oh, very young.
Yeah, very young. So what happened shook us. But being someone who has gone through a lot of crisis, right? I needed to be the stronger one, so that my wife has somebody to depend on. And I know also, based on my experience, that if I shut down and I continue to keep thinking of the negative things, I will fall into depression also. Once I fall into depression, basically my entire family will also go down, because my whole family is dependent on me. So I had to be very positive. I had to be a strong one. So during the time where I was at the hospital, I was helping my family to do the funeral for my son. Can you imagine, as a parent, you have to do a funeral for your son, right? I have to pick up the body. I have to put the body into a coffin. I have to go and buy the coffin. I had to go and complete the entire process, and then I have to go and buy the I have to pick up the niche of the columbarium, and I have to go and set all this up during that few days where I am already totally depressed, right? So can you imagine that kind of strength I need to have? While
actually I cannot imagine.
It's very, very tough. And when I was doing that, I had to manage my businesses. How to manage? Right? Everything is going downhill at the same time, right? And then I have no mood to do anything else. So I had to be the strong one as well. And I have to at least act that I'm strong enough, right? So during that period, I asked myself, what are the options I have? Whether or not I should just take off, right? Don't do anything, just recover slowly, or I should do something. So during that period, actually, we were all organizing a charity event, a very big one. But because of this, the miss of my son, we had a choice of canceling the whole event. And my son passed on the 31st of August. My charity event was on the 5th of September.
Wow, that is really
in the same week. And I had to organize the funeral, and I had to think whether or not I should cancel the event. Now, but eventually I decided, because it's a charity event, I will not cancel it. So I went ahead with the charity event. I told my wife, why don't we do this event? Let's step out from our grief and help other people to achieve their mission. So we did that. And because we did that, we had to be very strong. So when we stood in front of the podium addressing the crowd, we all were in tears. But we told everybody that because our strength comes from helping people, today we don't mind, while we are still grieving, we come out and support and to build this event. And we hope that everybody will support. Now, during that charity event,
Mm.
we managed to raise about $200,000. And with the $200,000, we managed to open one TCM clinic to help the elderly to get free
Wow,
medication.
amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
But you see, the strength is not from us. It's because when we show that we are able to do something out of the ordinary, and people will just, oh my goodness, how can you not cancel the event? And then I got even more support, and that kind of support helped us to pull through. And everybody came up to us and said, don't worry, okay, be strong. So instead of shutting our world, we opened up and invited everybody to come and know our problems, right? And within a few weeks, my wife decided to write about her feelings and put it on social media. So that was what she did. And nobody knew that we lost our child. Nobody, because you don't go around telling people you lost your child.
Comment from Jess Lloyd.
Jess,
yes,
oh, wow.
both of you were very strong and amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jess. Thank you, Jess.
Yeah. So when the post went out, you cannot imagine the number of people writing back to us and saying that, oh my goodness, both of you are so inspirational. Do you know I also lost my child and I couldn't face the world? So we had a lot of mommies who lost their child writing back to us and saying that they were very inspired and they wanted to become like us, willing to share with the public. So it became our strength. And then you know what? We decided to go out and start to share with other mommies how we should be dealing with crisis when you meet this kind of problems. Yeah, and then we are in the end, I was even to the stage where I was able to tell people how I went through the entire funeral process of my child. And then I can open up and I show videos of my child inside the coffin. So we decided to not burden ourselves and to keep everything inside us. We decided to share with everybody so that we also gather strength from people, right? But it becomes a two-way thing. While we were trying to heal ourselves, it healed a lot of people. Yeah. So then it became an inspiration to people. And you know, end of this year, I will be starting to run a parenting fair. So it guided us to that stage where today we become very strong parents, and we decided, why don't we just do events based on motherhood and to teach people also this kind of how to deal with crisis as a mother, as a parent. So eventually led us somewhere else, and also to be able to open our world to more people who need help. But you see, going through these two major crises, one is bankruptcy, where I lost all my money and everything. No more money. Basically, I live in poverty. Second one is losing your child. That one a lot of people can't accept, right? But going through these two, me and my wife, we became very, very tough people. And today we are able to guide other people. We are able to share testimonials, and then we can tell people that your problem is not a big problem. We will know how to solve it. So actually, after the two crises, there's a formula. That's actually the formula to be able to step out of a crisis.
What's the formula? Share your secret
in summary. Okay, first, don't blame yourself for the situation, which a lot of people do. So don't put the blame on yourself. Don't say why this thing happened. Is it because of me? No, you don't do that, because everybody will go through all kinds of situations, right? So don't blame yourself. And second, find very good mentors. So once you enter a crisis, straight away go and find people who are more successful than you. And hopefully the person has gone through the similar crisis. And then you go and help. Go and seek help from these people. They will tell you exactly what should happen. They will tell you, don't worry, you should use this way out, this way out, this out. They will tell you the solution. You don't have to figure it out, right? So you meet as many good mentors as possible, right? If you do not know who are the good mentors, you can just ask people and they will link you to some good mentors. Then thirdly, right, you have to always have a positive mindset. So never use the negativity and burden yourself, right? While the life will always have challenges, right? But that negativity should never be putting you down. So you always be positive, and even a situation that, like what I said, a crisis, even when you lost your child, right? You can turn that situation into a positive thing. Okay, so my child one, how do I turn it positive? Is I decided that since I lost my child, I want to set up a foundation for my child. So while the situation is very fresh, I'm still in grieving, but I think of a positive scenario of how I can turn that grief into purpose. Right? So then that becomes my strength. Now then, of course, while you're in crisis, you have to relearn things. Don't get stuck into your traditional old skills, because once it's a crisis, it is a crisis. You use your old method, will never work anymore. So you have to relearn. You have to reskill and learn new things and set new goals, and you keep moving towards a new goal. So the crisis will never last. So tough people will always last. So all you need to do is to set new goals, learn new things, and then you move towards that. And then, to me, the most important one is really to take massive action. Continue. Yeah, whatever people say, slow down. No, you don't slow down. You just continue. Right? Because when the crisis comes, like this pandemic, for example, it's not going to go away just like that. So
it's not going to go away, and there will be future kind of crises like this.
So the spirit, never say die, that spirit got to just chiong all the way. So you don't stop. If you got energy, you just keep going and going. In Chinese, we call 吃苦当吃补. Just go, every day. Yeah, but you see, you need to have somebody to at least go with you, right? So you look at your friend, you say, hey, see who can reach faster. Then you chong together. So you need to find buddies, the benchmark, and then to go together, the extra mile together, and then you celebrate the victory together, right? And of course, now the most important thing I feel is to set your life values correctly.
Correct.
In the beginning of my life, it's all about money, about fame, about being somebody. Once you get hit by crisis, all this no longer important, right? Today,
no longer important.
Important, right? Today, I value life. I value why I do so much charity works, because I value friendship, I value communities, I value families. So I want to now focus more on my strength to do all these things. But very interestingly, while you are doing all these things, people see the good in you, and strangely, the money also will come here and there. Right? But of course, you won't be very, very rich, right? But you will live a life full of meaning, full of purpose, and you will have fulfillment. Yeah. So today, I'm not very rich. But today, I would say I'm very, very
rich
happy.
On the inside.
No, I'm very, very happy with what I'm doing. Yeah, nobody can take the happiness away from me, because I have found my true happiness. I have a great family. I have a great wife who's very supportive, who has gone through crisis with me. So, and we have a great vision of what our lives will become. And I have great friends who believe in me, who wants to invest in the things that I'm doing, right? And they are richer than me. But it's okay. I'm very happy doing what I love and fighting this together. And even this crisis comes, part of my businesses are affected. I run very big scale events. And when this crisis comes, I can't run my events. But it's okay. I've learned to be very positive, right? How positive? When the events are hit, I said, wow, jialat. But how positive I was? I said, okay, now all my competitors also die together. So I have no competitors. So the day where I am able to stand up again, the whole arena has no competitors. Last time you want to kill the competitor, you want to make the competitor go down, cannot one. They are so strong and so tough, right? But suddenly all wiped out together. I also wiped out.
Start from clean slate again.
Correct. So I just have to think positive, right? When it happens, then I just think positive, and then I just continue. But it's fun, and it's maybe you cannot feel me because I'm not in front of you. But I'm so energetic.
I can feel your excitement and enthusiasm.
I can feel
and your positivity.
Yeah. But actually, there are many things in my business is still not doing well. Right, I'm still hit by certain crises. It's affecting the things that I'm doing. Right, but I live life very meaningfully. I feel that tomorrow is a good day. Right, I don't think that there's any problem that I cannot handle. So life will just continue to go on. Yep.
Susan, you're wise.
Oh, hi Susan.
Your number one fan.
Yeah. But now don't have the love already. Oh,
Joyce mentioned Jess
Oh.
mentioned earlier that she also found her mentors amongst our alumni.
Yes.
TJC alumni.
Yeah,
Very
actually we had
supportive community.
yes, we had a very, very strong pool of talents. And a lot of them are doing well even during this crisis. And these are the good people that we can mix with, and we can always seek their advice. Yeah, I also know there are some tech millionaires amongst our alumni, and they are doing extremely well during this period. Yeah.
Or she give you flower, your number one
Now got
fan.
flower. Yeah.
Actually, I like what you didn't really verbalize it, but what you actually did was very powerful. There are two things that you actually did during your crisis. Instead of focusing on yourself, right? What you suffered, you and your wife suffered the loss of your son, which is very painful. I
Yes.
cannot imagine, because I only suffered loss of family members, but for a parent to suffer a loss of a child and then having to settle all the after it's very difficult. I can only imagine. But you didn't focus on yourself, what you explained, but you actually switch your focus then to other people, what they need. And then the second thing you did was actually you use your crisis as a springboard to become even stronger, to motivate you and inspire you to do things for other people. So that's the two things that I took away that's very powerful. So you can all learn how to use that to our advantage when we go through difficulties in life. Because there's a guarantee in life, which is it is guaranteed you encounter challenge.
That one sure will happen one. But people like me go through so many. Yeah. So to the extent my positive mindset tells me I am the chosen one. So I have to do more than other people, to go through more crazy things than other people, because I'm the chosen one. But that's the only way that I can think positive.
Give you some hearts. Hi, Daddy.
Oh, Aiden is my son. Yeah. So I think during this unprecedented crisis, and this is worse than SARS. Of course, a lot of us, we suffer damages in our businesses, we lose our jobs, and then we can't come into terms with what is happening. But I would say that all of us have also gone through very tough times continuously together. And
at different points of our life.
And still, we all see hope in all that we do, right? Because everybody is trying, and all we need to do is to sustain ourselves for a period, and everything eventually will turn out correct and turn out well, right? So all we need to do is to make sure that we can sustain that spirit of ours, don't give up, right? And really, no point giving up, because I have seen so many cases, so many, that they feel that life is no longer important for them. But eventually, the moment that phase is over, they feel that they were actually just trapped in a depression, and they are not in a stage where they are no longer in a stage where they are depressive, and so they are able to pull themselves out. So you need to just lie low, right? Sustain until the crisis is over, but continue to think positive and then work hard and find opportunities once it's here, and then to embark on new things. So you keep your mind off the negative things, and then over time you will be able to become stronger.
So Susan made a comment earlier. Great that you don't blame God, which many people do. Instead you learn from your life lessons.
Okay. I would like to say something. From the first experience that I had, I also blame God, because that time my ego suddenly somebody strike my ego and then I get so frustrated. Why you take away my money? Why you take away my business? So at that time I challenge I even dare to challenge God. At the time I said, take more things away lah. You take away. I tell you, the moment I say that the next day I lost my house. Then I said, you take some more. The next day my family broke up. I lost my girlfriend, and eventually I lost everything. Until the stage I said, okay. I don't take anything away anymore. Okay, tell me what I need to do. So I reconciled. I started to change the way I look at life. I changed my attitude. I no longer is that egoistic self, and I told myself, okay, throw away that ego. Now I want to be somebody that is good. Okay, and at that time, once that thing happens, strangely, life starts to become better and better and better. So I learned, never blame God. Don't go and blame other people. Don't even blame yourself too hard, right? Of course, there are some things that we have done wrong, and then it went that way. Yeah, but learn to forgive yourself, because everybody also goes through problems in life. So don't take it too hard on yourself, but try to figure out how to solve the problem and think positive. So I think that's a great attitude to have, whichever comes along your way, right? So in short, I try to be a better son, try to be a better husband, try to be a better father, right? So then life started to become better and better. So it's like that. So it's not easy, but life will just put you into different challenges, just to make you go through that fire, and then you remold yourself, and then you become stronger and stronger and stronger. Yeah,
we're all on this growth process, this journey of growth. Like just say, we don't need a new sunrise, we only need a new mindset.
Wow, sad there, this one. Wow, this one 有墨水啊，有墨水。
有墨水啊，Jess。谢谢 Jess。
Yeah.
Absolutely true. We need a new mindset. We need a new mindset.
Especially during these times, these are difficult times, we know. But Singapore is doing better than most other countries. So I think we are in a good environment where things can start to turn around soon. So all we need to do is to keep ourselves strong and to prepare for the day where opportunities come again, right? If you have lost your job, go and find a new job, learn new skills. If you have lost your business, don't worry, because everybody also suffering the same way. Just think of new strategies and to rebuild again, or go and find a job that pays you some to survive. Don't need to get paid in the same way that you were paid before COVID, right? Just need to survive. A lot of people don't even know. This one I dare to share now. I even became an Uber driver just to survive.
Just to survive.
Just to survive, and just to pay for a car. Because I have children, I need to have a car to transport them. So I became an Uber driver. I was only an Uber driver for a few weeks, and my life turned around. But at the time before I was an Uber driver, I couldn't think of anything else I can do to survive. So I picked that route just to survive, so that I don't fall into a trap where I cannot pay my next bill, right? So I just went to drive, and every single day I take about 14 hours to drive.
Wow.
Yeah, but it's just a few weeks. I managed to pay off my bills, and opportunity came, and then I stopped, and then I went on to the opportunity, and I went up. Yeah. So no ego. Once you are stuck in a situation, just look for options, and doesn't matter whether or not it's something you like, right? It's not your dream job, and then it's not paying you as well. It doesn't matter. You just need to tide through, and then the opportunity will come, and then you will start to move again. Yeah, and it works for me. Yeah,
it's the mindset. The mindset that you have.
It's the mindset. So when I'm driving, I'm just thinking, one day maybe I'll own Uber. Dream, just keep dreaming, right? One day I'll own Uber.
Uber got taken over. Grab now.
Yeah. No, but it is that kind of dream, right? That you never say die. And then you keep dreaming. You keep pushing yourself further and further and further, right? But you need to survive, be realistic. So just go and do whatever you can to survive, to make some money, to pay off your bills, right? Don't choose. What comes, take. Okay. After a while, something better comes, take. Then after a while, opportunities come, take.
Yes. Wow. Okay. We kind of exceeded our time already. So actually, we can continue talking a whole night.
Yeah, we can.
Always, have you part 2 of my own show, then we continue talking again. But thanks, Sean, for sharing with us so much of his own experiences, and they are very heartfelt, difficult times that he went through. But thanks for being so generous and so kind to share with every one of us. And I hope you guys have learned something. You have got something away from tonight's session. And thank you for all the audience who have spent some time tonight together with us. And don't forget to sign up for our annual 47th annual Hwachong annual College Day virtual celebrations, which will be on the not shifted from 21st of August. Now it's on the 4th of September. Yeah, so the link, website link just coming up there. www.hwachongjcalumni.org.sg/47. And of course, don't forget to connect with Sean Wong. You can find him on Facebook. You can also visit his website, www.sean.sg. And he's such a generous and inspiring person, full of wisdom as well, and most importantly, the very positive mindset.
Thanks for having me. I think it's a pleasure to be on this show, and I hope that all of you come together to celebrate our college day together. Yeah, it's going to be a blast of a good time.
On the 4th of September. We have a very exciting program lineup. We'll reveal details to you slowly, bit by bit. Also, do drop by our Facebook page as well, Hwachong Alumni, and our Instagram account as well as do join our Facebook group, Hwachong Alumni, Hwachong JC Alumni. So there are two different. Hwachong is the main Hwachong, but ours is the Hwachong JC Alumni group. Do join us, and it's a very supportive community. I'm very blessed to be involved in the community as well. And it's about 1 year plus really since I went for the last Kopi gathering. I missed the Kopi gathering.
Yeah. But soon we will come back again, right? Yeah.
We will come back again stronger.
Yes. Yay. Okay, so thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Can you perform that?
Can.
Okay, we can talk about it.
Yeah.
Wei Ling, yes. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you,
Susan.
Thank you, Wei Ling. Yeah. It's my pleasure.
Okay, thanks, guys. Have a very good night, very good evening, and see you on the 4th of September. Okay, the next one, actually, the alumni interview, we are having takeaway. We are interviewing takeaway on the 7th of August. Then after that, will be our main event on the 4th of September. So see you, and have a good night.
Okay.
Bye-bye.